Passage 3, Humanities. This passage is adapted from the article Real Women, Cassatt's Brush with Impressionism by Penelope Kensington. The subjects and paintings by Mary Cassatt capture an intimate yet unsentimental view of women rarely seen in the 19th century. Cassatt presents a view of women that highlights the quiet day-to-day realities of life, a view of women that was not an idealistic study of physical beauty, but rather a mundane yet powerful depiction of the everyday. And especially seen in her later work, it is very infused with the energy and light of Impressionism. In 1868, Cassatt's mandolin player was accepted by the Paris Salon jury, marking the beginning of a professional career. A mandolin player showcases the darker colors and idealism of the then prevalent romantic style in which Cassatt had been formally trained. The success she found in Paris introduced her to a prominent circle of artists, where she was first exposed to the radical art of Courbet and Manet, whose proto-impressionism sought to impart life and realism to their subjects throughout the use of light. Cassatt was absolutely enthralled by this promise of Impressionism, yet she continued to produce traditional works for the next 10 years while also registering complaints with the Paris Salon about their closed-mindedness to new painting styles and discrimination against women. She didn't return to the United States until the summer of 1870, where she struggled under her father's strict control and arguable lack of inspiration. In 1874, buoyed by the unexpected success of her work in Italy, Cassatt returned to France with the intention of rekindling her career. Perhaps Cassatt had hoped to influence the Salon to take her criticisms with more gravity. What can be said is that Cassatt found more frustration with the politics of the Salon, which drove her to her lowest point as an artist in 1877, when all of her works were rejected by the Salon jury. Her frustrations continued to build, pushing her farther away from the dogmatism of the Academy, which no longer satisfied her artistic needs. It wasn't until she saw a Degas pastel in an art dealer's display that the seeds of Impressionism planted in her early years in France finally began to blossom. The vibrant colors and natural poses of the subjects, coupled with the interplay of light and Degas's work, held Cassatt in rapture. For the first time in her life, Cassatt felt that she saw art how she wanted to see it, a representation of the artist's reality, not that of the academic ideal. In an unpredictable turn of events, Cassatt would find herself invited by Degas to join the Impressionists in their defense of the Salon. Here at last was a chance for Cassatt to realize her vision of femininity as it is, and not as it was imagined by the art of the time. It is commonly believed that Cassatt and Degas enjoyed the perfect working relationship, full of mutual admiration and harmonious collaboration. In truth, although the two artists did enjoy a significant partnership, they maintained studios separated only by a short walk. The reality is much more nuisance. Degas' influence on Cassatt was unquestionable, that much is true. He introduced Cassatt to pastels engravings, and Cassatt returned the favor by helping Degas to gain traction in the United States, prompting the two to work closely together for some time. However, when Degas abruptly withdrew his support from their collaborative journal, ultimately leading to its collapse, their professionalism relationship changed forever. While Cassatt continued to view Degas with affection, they never worked together closely again. It was a shame for her to lose this relationship because she was oftentimes frustrated by non-artists, viewing them as intellectually inferior. Joining Degas and the Impressionist movement inspired Cassatt to create what are widely regarded as her life's greatest works. The freedom imparted to her allowed Cassatt to narrate the changing lives of middle society women of the late 19th century. Not content to find women to their traditional roles in art, Cassatt was able to show her subjects engaged with the developing world. In paintings such as The Child's Bath and On the Balcony, the figures are cropped and drawn in bold patterns and outlines reminiscent of the Degas pastels that so inspired her earlier in her career. The viewer is brought to observe a personal scene of a woman engrossed in her environment, particularly in On a Balcony, which replaces the novel with the contemporary newspaper rooting her subject in the modern world. These paintings transmit the power and honesty of Impressionism that continue to captivate the world's attention. At the same time, they continue to reveal intimate insights into the timeless realities of womanhood. Question 21. The main purpose of this passage is to A. Summarize the features of an artist's most popular painting and the influences behind it. B. Investigate the meaning of reality as depicted in artistic tradition. C. Provide an overview of an artist's strongest influences on her work and resulting career. Or D. Summarize the work of artists who presented an intimate yet unsentimental view of 19th century women. Question 22. It is most reasonable to infer from the passage that which of the following paintings would be created by Cassatt later in her career. F. A darkly painted portrait of a high society debutante. G. A panel of Paris salon jurors arguing. H. An idealistic depiction of newlyweds vacationing in Italy. J. An intimate portrayal of a mother dressing her child. Question 23. The passage suggests that the primary transition in Cassatt's career as an artist was her A. Refusal to believe women should be portrayed as they are in everyday life. B. Discovery of an artistic style that suited her vision. C. Choice to collaborate with Degas on an impressionist journal. Or D. Pride in having her painting accepted by the Paris Salon. Question 24. The author speculates that Cassatt may have chosen to return to France because she F. Imagined Paris would provide her financial opportunities not found in the United States. G. Hoped to rekindle the inspiration that initially drew her interest to be an artist. H. Wished to sway the Salon to more carefully consider her criticism of their practices. Or J. Desired to escape the creative block she was suffering in Italy. 25. According to the passage, the works Degas inspired Cassatt to create primarily featured A. Dark colors and idealistic depictions of mothers. B. Honest representation of the daily lives of men and women at Paris. C. Strong patterns and a focus on the reality of the modern woman in her environment. Or D. The traditional yet feminine beauty of mothers with their children. Question 26. According to the passage, after she saw his painting in an art display, Cassatt was influenced by Degas' use of pastels for a F. Long time. Cassatt devoted herself to pastels thereafter. G. Long time. Cassatt continued to incorporate Degas' painting techniques even in her later works. H. A short time. Cassatt quickly stopped pastels in favor of her traditional romantic style. Or J. Short time. Cassatt was unable to monetize this new manner of painting. Question 27. The author characterizes the initial work of Courbet and Manet impressionisms on Cassatt's work as A. Delayed. Cassatt's style didn't change until many years later. B. Minor. Cassatt continued to produce traditional paintings but no longer submitted them to the Salon. C. Dramatic. Cassatt abandoned romanticism to pursue more artistic freedom and bolder methods of painting. Or D. Transformative. Cassatt immediately left Paris to focus on her vision. Question 28. The passage indicates that Cassatt found it difficult to be around non-artists because F. She viewed them as intellectually inferior. G. She was too focused on her collaborative journal. H. Degas was more pleasant company than non-artists. Or J. She struggled to relate to other people. 29. Based on the early passage, the way Cassatt presented figures in her early work and the way she presented them in her later work is best described as shifting from A. Traditional to contemporary. B. Light to dark. C. Beautiful to mundane. Or D. Loose to rigid. Question 30. The main focus of the last paragraph is that F. Cassette's paintings of women in daily life display the large effect Impressionism had on her artistic vision. G. Cassette's painting of women conveyed the intimacy of every day. H. The author personally found two of Cassette's paintings of women significantly influential. Or J. The most powerful method to present a subject in a painting is to use crop figures and bold patterns. Passage 4. Natural Sciences. This passage is adapted from the preface to The Invisible Universe by Wendy McLean. Since the earliest days of mankind, we have looked to the stars for answers to our most profound questions. And though our understanding of the cosmos has become far more sophisticated than our ancestors could have ever imagined, most of our universe remains invisible to us. Today, the attention of astrophysicists turns to the unseen fabric of our world and to all those worlds stretching out into the sea of stars around us. Henri Poincaré called it matter obscure, dark matter. The clearest signs came in 1933 when Swiss astronomer Fritz Zwicky observed peculiarities in the Coma cluster galaxies. Researchers before him had voiced suspicion of the manipulations from the darkness, but it was Zwicky who illuminated them. He saw that the galaxies on the outermost edges of the Coma cluster were moving in ways that were inexplicable with only the mass of the visible matter in the cluster. There was more invisible matter in the cluster than there was invisible matter, much more, and it was influencing the motions of the galaxies through gravitation alone. But it wasn't until the publication of a paper in 1980 by an astronomer named Vera Rubin examining in detail the rotations of galaxies that the formal search for dark matter began. The results of her work were daunting. Not only did there exist matter in our universe, but that did not interact with the electromagnetic force, but it outweighed visible matter 6-1. Now we have strong evidence that dark matter does in fact exist, influencing our planet, our sun, even our galaxy through gravitation. Here all around us, holding the known universe together. But the mystery remains how to find it. That has been a driving question in astrophysics for several decades now. The search for dark matter, then that elusive creature whose paw prints are now seen even in the cosmic microwave background, has taken many forms. Some scientists seek to detect dark matter indirectly by turning their attention to outer space. The leading candidate for the building block of dark matter is the WIMP, the weakly interactive massive particle. In theory, the collision of WIMPs could usually cause the annihilation of the particles and production of positrons, supersymmetric counterparts to the electrons of the Standard Model. The Alpha Magnetic Spectrometer, AMS, on the International Space Station searches the stars for production of massive amounts of dark matter annihilation. Since its inception, it has recorded 25 billion events, many of them promising, but none promising enough to provide definitive evidence for the detection of dark matter. The AMS works in conjunction with many experiments seeking to provide evidence once and for all of the dark matter detection, both indirectly and directly. While AMS and others turn their attention to outer space for evidence, still others delve deep underground. The Liquid Underground Xenon LUX experiment seeks to find direct evidence of dark matter. 1 mile under the Earth's surface, free from the noise of cosmic rays present on the surface. Scientists listen in silence for the whispers of an invisible universe. 1/3 of a ton of cooled xenon, 72,000 gallons of water, and one of the most powerful sensors known to mankind. The LUX experiment seeks to detect an event staggeringly low probability. If a WIMP hurtling through space enters the Earth's atmosphere, travels through the Earth, and bumps directly into the nucleus of an atom being observed by the LUX detector, it will give off a specific energy signature marked differently from the signature that would be given off by a background particle colliding into an electron. If such an unlikely event occurred, we would succeed in detecting the most elusive substance in the universe. As it stands now, the LUX and other direct detection experiments have not experienced definitive evidence of dark matter detection. However, these experiments cannot be considered failures. The search for materia obscura has been slow, patient, and deliberate. And though experimentation has not yet detected it, astrophysicists have narrowed their field of search. Small victories led us to rule out possibilities and sharpen our focus on those that remain. The astronomers and researchers who have dedicated much of their times to shine a light on the unseen proceed into the darkness ever cautiously. They work meticulously, both eager to find results and cautious not to report them erroneously. But when they can finally claim to have found absolute proof of dark matter, they will have unraveled one of the most important mysteries in modern astronomy. Question 31. Which of the following descriptions best reflects the way the passage is organized? A. It raises philosophical questions about our universe and answers them through two competing theories about dark matter. B. It provides rigorous definitions of the standard model and the place of dark matter with it before criticizing the theory. C. It focuses on the history of how scientists became aware of dark matter, then transitions to the techniques that are currently being used to find it. Or D. It examines dark matter in historical texts and explains how these texts misunderstood dark matter's role in the universe. Question 32. As it is used in line 13, the phrase manipulations from the darkness refers to F. The influence of gravitation on visible matter by invisible matter. G. The complicated calculations necessary to discuss dark matter. H. The presence of visible matter specifically in the Coma cluster galaxies. Or J. Scientists altering scientific data for their own gain. Question 33. According to the passage, at the time the passage was written, how many events had the AMS recorded? A. 6 million. B. 72 million. C. 25 million. Or D. 80 million. Question 34. The passage makes use both of technical terms and F. Questions directed at the reader. G. Metaphorical language. H. Quotes from prominent astronomers. Or J. Excerpts from astrophysics textbooks. Question 35. What is the main idea of the second paragraph, lines 10 to 31? A. Early astronomers thought dark matter fit into the standard model, but they now no longer believe this. B. Through the painstaking work of 20th century astronomers, strong evidence proving the existence of dark matter was found. C. The existence of dark matter has proven to be a compelling but wholly encouraging hypothesis. Or D. Recent discoveries regarding dark matter have led to significant progress in other fields of science and technology. Question 36. According to the page, in order to confirm the existence of dark matter, the Lux experiment attempts to observe F. The charge and spin of unidentified matter found in a particle accelerator. G. Evidence of dark matter deposits embedded deep within the Earth's crust. H. Underground atomic collisions between xenon atoms and significant amounts of water. Or J. The energy signature from a collision between a WIMP and an atom's nucleus underground. Question 37. According to the passage, which of the following is an accurate description of the Lux experiment? A. It examines bursts of cosmic rays in outer space using a massive camera. B. It is a system of supercooled sensors and detectors built from WIMPs. C. It observes deposits of minerals which are known to contain dark matter particles. D. It uses cooled xenon 1 mile underground to detect atomic collisions. Question 38. In the passage, WIMPs are identified as F. Extremely small, negatively charged particles. G. Particles that direct and indirect detection experiments are searching for. H. Group of forces by which dark matter can interact with ordinary matter. Or J. The most successful group of astronomers to have performed dark matter experiments. Question 39. The passage's description of indirect detection experiments, such as the AMS, indicates that they attempt to locate A. The presence of massive amounts of positrons and cosmic rays. B. Dark stars whose particles are almost assuredly decay into dark matter particles. C. The specific velocity ranges in which dark matter particles are capable of traveling. Or D. The exact mass of a particular dark matter particle known as axion. Question 40. According to the passage, which of indirect and direct detection experiments succeeded in helping scientists do? F. Narrow their field of research. G. Determine their volume of dark matter. H. Measure the mass of a dark particle. Or J. Detect dark matter in Earth's crust. End of test 3. Stop. Do not go to the next page until told to do so.